Man, that was a perfect start to the stream, and you guys will never know what I said. Don't do anything cool for a second. Gotta change a diaper. Don't worry about it. I won't do anything cool. I started off by saying you've been waiting for nothing, illusionary. I'm always late, but this time I was extra late. Why? Because I wanted to eat lunch, because this is probably going to be a longer stream. I also forgot to take some Advil before stream. So since Retro Rich doesn't want me to do anything cool, I'm going to go take Advil. Delicious. Okay. Let's see. Let's check out the poll. I asked you guys, how do you feel about Sony ending physical games? Because if you don't know, they announced last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that, that they are going to end disc production for the PS5 in January of 2028. I don't know if that means like the beginning of the year, or they're just gonna extend it through January of 2028 for some reason. Either way, this sucks, and we'll probably talk about it more throughout the stream. But yeah, most of you are in my camp. I hate it. This is not good, and I fear that it's gonna get even worse. But yeah, I also was inspired to ask that because I was watching Scott the Waz's video about that and his opinions, and yeah, he brought up some good points. But anyways, as per usual, I will say hello to everybody who said something in chat, and a lot of you have chatted already. And since I went over the chat, or since I already went over the poll, I will give you guys time to say something in chat right now while I go over what we're doing today and the coupon code. Because technically it's been live since noon, if anybody wanted to guess it. But the sale today, because I'm doing a flash sale every Monday, so I guess it's not really a flash sale. It's just a random sale. Random sale. This is gonna be a good stream if I can't talk. A random sale on a random item. Anytime I'm streaming, it's been going semi-well so far. And today, since I only have one GameCube that's currently available, I decided not to make that the sale. I decided to do all of my N64s. If you want an HDMI modded N64, you can get it 10% off today with code HDMI. These are really simple codes. You guys can just guess it if you want to, before stream actually starts, because they go live at noon, and I usually have them expire at 3. So we just need to be done streaming by 3. But I will pin that to the top of the chat. right, there we go. Message added and pinned. If you want to use code HDMI, you can get 10% off any and all of them. Somebody sent me a message on in my customer email, and you will have to wait till the end of the stream. My apologies. Okay. This guy Blue N64 is amazing. You're welcome. Thank you for purchasing. But let's go over what we got today, and then we can do roll call and get going, because we got a lot to do. We've got 3 GameCubes here, and I'm also realizing that I did not get the other 2 shells out. We are going to be reusing the platinum shell here. That's why I still have the pieces off to the side. But these 2 are getting new shells. I believe one of them is that sky blue that Crayola has in the N64. And the other one, I believe, is clear green. Let's go grab those real quick. Is there a proper Ethernet broadband adapter for the GameCube to play Phantasy Star Online and some of the little GameCube online collection games that exist? I think the ETH2 SP2 from that. So I have a whole video on that. I believe it would work because like over the internet, because I was able to use the Ethernet to SP2 adapter for Mario Kart for Double Dash. I did a whole 8-player LAN party with it, and that's enough bandwidth for that. I don't know if there's any sort of specifications to where you need something else for actual online play. I've not tested it with Phantasy Star Online. I don't own it, and I know nothing about it, like other than it's the most popular online, or like the only real online GameCube game. But I believe, I want to say it works with that adapter, but the GameCube might be picky enough that it needs to be out of the SP1 port. There is another SP1 adapter that is for Ethernet, but it still isn't like fast enough for like running games off of a server or anything like that, because the Ethernet to SP2 adapter does not work for like game streaming files. So I don't know. You have an official one, but can't buy a second one. That's fair. I don't even have one of those, and I would kind of like one of those, because apparently that's good enough to use for streaming games for my NAS. But anyways, oh, it's a red. This is a red shell, so we got a new red shell, and then this one is the blue, the clear blue. Come on. And this one's the fun one that I get to put the entire shell together. None of it's put together for me. I hate that. The lid is underneath there. Interesting. But yeah, we'll have this. This is a little deeper of a blue, I feel like, than the regular sky blue. It's not like a dark blue or like a regular blue, but it's not quite light enough that I would call it sky blue. It's just like a clear blue. But yeah, I get to do the whole spring and lid thing. That'll be fun to do later. And then the red one is very similar to that that red and black special edition from back in the day. I think it's the Gundam Special Edition, but it doesn't have the Gundam logo thing on the jewel. But it's got a black faceplate and everything. I think it's dope. But yeah, those are the ones that we're gonna be doing today. So if you want a platinum one, a clear blue one, or a solid red one, hang out in the stream and they'll hopefully be available by the end of it. Assuming I can finish all of these today. I should be able to. All the disc drives work, so it's really just tearing them down, adding the mod, and putting it back together. This one doesn't really matter, but this one will have Pico Loader, because I've had this last one chilling here for a long time, so I'm finally going to use it. And then the other two are going to have regular old Pico Boot. It does not matter for you. It all does the same thing once it's all put together. There's quite literally no difference other than if something goes wrong with the Pico Loader one, theoretically you could just buy another one of these if the problem ends up being this, whatever. But it doesn't really matter. This one's easier to install if you don't want to do all the soldering, but you still have to solder the thing to it. I'm still gonna have to do a bunch of work for it. But anyways, let's finally do some roll call. Okay. We got John005, ZX10 or 010, Retro Rich, both of my parents. The Illusionary may or may not be here anymore. They may have given up. Draco HP7, Crayola 81. I'm in there. Michael DeLima, and yeah, that's it. Hello. How you guys doing? You ready for some GameCube mods? Let's see. I did do a backflip and I threw a Coke away. Do a silver blue mix. Honestly, the platinum shell isn't the highest quality, but it is the best of the three because it has all the parts. That's the only reason why I'm doing it, and I don't have another shell. This is basically just me putting together the remaining pieces that I have. I just have I bought these three because I got a good deal on them, and I had 2 shells left over and 2 new shells left over, and I have a few extra these, and I still have the 1 Pico loader, and so I save a lot of the pieces that I don't end up using. I have a bunch of these thermal pads. So this is the bits and pieces stream. We're doing we're using what we got. Okay. Let's not lollygag anymore. Let's start tearing these apart, and I will say, if your ears are sensitive / wearing headphones, you might not like the sound that this makes. So I'm gonna put the mic off to the side so it's not as effective. It doesn't affect you guys as much, but that also means I'm probably not gonna talk that much, or I'm gonna talk awkwardly loud. We'll see. Actually, I'll start with these ones in the front because they're different bit size, and I'll do these by hand. Don't want to take it out. I just want to unscrew it. There we go. But yeah, the whole end of physical media is really dumb. I understand that there are a lot of people who do not care about physical media, and that's fine. Honestly, the convenience of having digital games and stuff is awesome. I like digitizing my library. I've been going through that with my movies and TV shows lately because I have a home server now, and I have put my entire collection onto my NAS, and I use Jellyfin to stream it, and it's awesome. But I still am keeping all of those physical discs. I still want all of those, and I still want to collect more. What I like about having a physical collection over a digital collection is Sony can't turn around one day and say, hey, Concord was a flop 2 days in, and we're going to remove it. Not only take it down from the store so it's not downloadable anymore, we're going to physically, or I guess digitally, remove it from your library. They were able to take it off of your PlayStation without your permission, without your consent. Was it a free game? I honestly don't even remember, because that game was so short-lived. It did not last long at all. But it's just ridiculous that companies can come in and do that. Like Amazon has taken down countless movies from people's accounts that they've bought through Amazon. Not just like rented, they bought movies through Amazon. It was in their library, and they said, the license is up, see ya, you don't get that file anymore. And that is insane. Yeah, we won't own anything, and it's crap. The reason why I like it, not only just to look at my shelf of colors and game discs, but to actually own the thing that I bought. I don't want people taking it away from me. And the other thing that people are kind of forgetting about or didn't even notice because they announced it in the same blog post, they're also taking down the PS3 and PS Vita stores in a few months, if not already, honestly. See, the big thing that they want you to focus on is that it's going to be digital only soon. But the worst part about that, and the reason why we hate it, is because once the storefront is down, the PS6 is probably not going to have a single disc made for it. And so you go to that generation, the next generation, there's no discs, and 10, 15 years after the launch of the PS6, they're going to take down the PS6 store, and those games are all just gone. You can't download them anymore. There's no going back unless you have a PS6 full of those games that you want. And there's no going back in time. You can't. I was not alive for the NES. I can go to a store and pick up NES games, and I can play those games now. But if somebody wants to do that 40 years from now with the PS6, they can't do that. They have to go on eBay, spend thousands of dollars on somebody else's PS6 that is full of those games, and hope they don't get scammed. Not to mention the fact that with digital libraries, there's no value. There's no resale value at all. Even though I've spent a lot of money on my video game collection, 10, 20 years from now, it will most likely go up in value. And how much it goes up in value, I don't know. But the likelihood that it goes down in value is very tiny. So it's like, it's a nice benefit of that, having physical media. It has value. If I decide that I'm done with video games, or I don't want this collection anymore, whatever, I can get rid of it. I can get something back out of it. You can't do that with a digital library. You don't go to my website, add an N64 to the cart, and when it in the section that asks for a discount code, put code HDMI. Just put HDMI, and then it'll work. It'll give you 10% off. That's how it works. Like any other discount code. I did notice that you bought the pink Game Boy Macro, which thank you very much, by the way. Which I should also mention, that was the last Game Boy Macro. I don't think I'm ever going to mod another one to sell again, because that's a lot of effort for like very, very, very little profit. So but I appreciate it, Retro Rich. So what is your business now if you're not doing mods? Pop these bad boys on. Let me take care of the dust remaining. Oh man, one more. If you're wondering why I'm doing it over that way instead of off to the side, is because it's easier to vacuum up the dust on the carpet that's in front of me. This is just hardwood everywhere else but in front. And then I'm just gonna do this under the table, because that fan is a little extra gross. Okay, I'm just gonna do this here. Okay, that's enough dust cleanup. So from here, I will take off the heatsink of this guy, but since we're not swapping the shell, I really don't need to take it down any further. But I will take this off so we can swap the thermal pads, since we're swapping all of them. It's probably not necessary, but it's just nice to do it. You bend State Farm's arm to pay for roofs. Oh, nice. Can you get them to lower my insurance payment? Because yes, I do have State Farm, ironically. Josh, I think you're a little behind. Okay. Yeah, let's... I might as well just do it by hand. I was gonna swap to the electric one. Does anybody know? This one doesn't have an SP2 port, but the spot is still there. It's just empty. Does anybody know if I took like this one out of here and put it in here, if it would work? Has anybody tried that? So I was thinking about it, I'm like, I don't really, thankfully, I have not gotten any GameCubes yet that are actually like dead, that have not been fixable. Like very rarely, I think maybe one or two GameCubes I've ever gotten have had like actual board problems of some sort. It's mostly just, if it's bad, it's either like disgusting, like on the outside, the color's bad or whatever, or the disk drive just doesn't work. And that's, I mean, it's a long process, but it's honestly really easy to fix a disk drive that doesn't read disk. Welcome to the present, Josh. I do live in Oregon. Just ran into your channel, nice work. Subscribe as soon as I see you do mods. I recently got into soldering maybe a year ago. I bought 3 GameCubes. You can fire away with your questions. That is what streams are for. It is literally the best time to ask me a question. Unless you're a customer and you need customer service from me, then email me. But otherwise, fire away your questions, and if I don't want to answer it, I will tell you. But unless it's something that's like too personal of a question, I will probably answer. The mini unhinged? There's a mini unhinged? Probably not. I think I've probably done as much Boxy Pixel unhinged mods as I can. Where did I put that, bro? There it is. Still a little bit of dust there. This is my favorite way to remove these heat sinks now. Get something flat and strong, and then just twist. Sometimes you gotta like crank it back and forth, but comes off easily. Doesn't pull any extra components with it because there's never anything here. If you stick it in too far, you're gonna hit the memory, the RAM. Wow, okay, these ones are just... There we go. That was a little tougher, but... Wow, that was a really easy set of heat sinks to come off. Nice. Okay. Yeah. There's really not much more to do. I don't want to do them now. I'm gonna put this off to the side for now because we're kind of done with the silver one until later. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on removing the motherboard and the dust bunnies. That did not go where I wanted it to. Oh well. A little more automatic screwdriver. I guess modding HDMI and GameCubes is still a difficult soldering job. We do have great plug and play options. Yes, that is why I don't really do HDMI mods. I've done one HDMI mod for this, and other than the fact that they are expensive, I've not done any pixel effects mods. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying their HDMI mods out. It's just, for me, I don't really want to spend that kind of money. But also, like, specifically for the GameCube, I just don't think there's really any huge benefit other than like the little Kaiko Bitfunks HDMI adapters for the GameCube. Those do great. Now, if you can do those pixel effects mods on the 101s, then yeah, that's worth it, because you can't use those adapters for the 101 mods. Anybody see that? If you don't firmly grasp it, it'll just spin out of your hands. Okay. Take that off. Really isn't too much dust in the bottom of these. That's nice. Good grief. Okay. And 4 more little screws here on each of them. How deep in the stream are we? 36, 37 minutes? Nice. Where should I put these? Why don't I put them right there? Starting to get a little bit warm in here. And I do have an AC unit in here that I might have to turn on. So we'll see. It's not like I haven't been using loud tools or anything, so I'm not too worried about the audio. These are done. Oh. What in the... The injection piece was still on there. Hi Jake, your videos are amazing. Greetings from Italy. Well, hello, Mr. Valentine Retro Repairs, or Valentine. Probably Valentine, assuming, since you're in Italy. This is crap. I had never used these. But anyways, I've been to Italy. Beautiful country. I did miss the American meats, though, when I was there. Will have to say. It's also really hot there. I was in Tuscany area. Went to Rome, and then I was near Florence, like an hour out from Florence, for a wedding. Come on, get in there. And it was last July. Okay, I mean, one of the clips broke off. That's fine. It'll still work. Okay. Don't think there's anything else I need to add to the bottom of this guy before we move on. Need to get the red one out. Music seems extra today. Is it like too loud? How does everybody feel about the music? The music levels? Should I turn it down? But yeah, I did notice when I started the music before stream, I'm like, this is loud, and I turned it down. But I don't know why it's louder, because I don't think I changed any of the settings. So, too loud? Also doesn't help that we're at the end of a song here. I also turned it down for myself without realizing it there. think that's a good enough volume. Okay, let's move back to doing this stuff. And I almost always forget this. Don't forget to put this guy in before you put the power supplies back down. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Not everybody's gonna get a Game Boy player or other weird attachments. And even then, the screw's still gonna go through the hole. Just not gonna attach to anything. Anyways. I feel like I've missed some chats here. Where's my cursor? Okay. We got... I also paid to have an HDMI done on another cube, but I can't get the signal out of the HDMI. Oh. That sucks. Well, I will say, I actually just had this happen to me with one of my GameCubes not too long ago. The screws on the heatsink were too tight, and it caused the sound... It caused the sound to go out on AV and for nothing to come out of the digital port. So you could try tearing it apart and loosening the screws for the heatsink. When I was fixing it, I literally had it on and just slowly backed off the screws until the sound came back, and then I tried the other port and it worked. That was it. So, first time in old time that's ever happened to me. So, I feel like it's not a very common thing, but I'm also pretty careful about not over tightening screws. Because at least like on the heatsink, I'm very careful about it because I knew bad things could happen. I mean, like if you damage your CPU or your GPU, you're done for. Say goodbye to that board. Yeah, HDMI mods are a little advanced. And honestly, the Carby's gonna do you just fine. GC video is great, and I feel like that's what most of the HDMI mods, if not all of them, are based off of GC video, which is the software that Carby and all the other digital adapters run. Which file format do you use with Swiss? I tried basic ISO, but I don't know if it's better to possibly use. I don't think it matters. I mean, if you're worried about space and you want to save on space, you can try and compress them. But I don't think it really matters. I don't know enough about it. So, how many GameCubes do you need? Sticky pudding. You have a Game Boy player on each of them? Are you just collecting them to look at? Guy on Facebook Marketplace was selling the disc with case sleeve insert and the black pair for $150. That's not bad. Thank you for blessing me. See you later, Rich. Thanks for stopping in. think the holes for these screw posts are a little bit tighter than the red one. It's a little bit tougher to screw it in. That's why I like my automatic screwdriver. Okay. These things. Nope. Yep. Chat. Yep, these screw posts definitely tighter. Okay, so now we should be able to pop these back in. And we can replace the... Found more dust. Replace the thermal pads, and then we can replace the... or solder and stuff. Keep her going. I can shiny hunt 3 Pokemon games at once with the Wavebird. Fair enough. Fair enough. Do you stream that? For these heat sinks, I literally will just take a plastic pick, scrape them off. Really just need to get under most of them, unless they're like really stubborn. Where's the last board? Oh, they never stuck to any of those. But a lot of time you can just get under it, peel it up, and then you've got a nice pile of thermal goop. Not yet, too busy at work and home. If I can, if I find the time, got an HDMI switch to display up 4 things on screen. Nice. Honestly, I think it'd be fun to do a shiny hunting stream. It'll just be a shiny hunting streamer. But I prefer doing YouTube videos over streaming. I mean, that's why I only do this once a week, if that, you know. Okay. Those are all cleaned up, but we are not quite ready to actually do the new thermal pads because we've got some soldering to do. So, over here, I've got 2 Raspberry Pi Picos that we are going to solder to these guys right here. They're already preloaded with the PicoBoot UF2s. If it comes up that easily, does it mean it's old and needs to be replaced? I don't know enough about the properties of thermal pads, but I'm gonna say I think those were probably fine. I don't think they're really needing to be replaced until they're like dried up. Though, like, there was one of them that had, like, it didn't peel off nice. It like kind of separated into 2 pieces, like a Oreo. When the cream doesn't stick to one side. Anyways, if it's spreading apart like that, it's probably getting close. But if it peels off super easily, it's probably fine. Honestly, when I did a lot of the Pico Loader mods, I didn't. I don't think I replaced all the thermal pads just because I don't think we're at the point yet where most GameCubes need thermal pads replaced, but I do it because all the kits I buy come with them. If they didn't come with them, I probably wouldn't do it. Or I would have like a stockpile of some just in case I come across a GameCube that does need it, you know? But I don't think, I mean, I've never tested thermals. It's a GameCube, but I don't think you're gonna see a drop in thermals and a boost in performance. It's not a gaming PC. You just gotta keep it cool. The thing you really need to look out for more is fans that break, because I've actually had a couple fans break or a piece of it break off and keep the fan from spinning, and that's not good. Because one ended up making its way to a customer with something lodged in the fan, and thankfully that GameCube never died, but they were like, yeah, it just like shuts off after an hour of gameplay. And then we figured out that it was overheating, and then when it got back here, I'm like, oh, the fan's not even spinning. So, yeah. And then I took the little piece out, and it fired right up, and I'm like, okay, we're good to go. And that was that. Okay. Where's my fan? Speaking of fans, that's not gonna work. Where can I put this that will actually be effective, but also not keep the camera out of focus? There we go. What I'm going to do now is just add a buttload of solder to these things. Oh man, they only have the markings on the back. Looks like I'm gonna have to pretty much solder everything. And there goes my soldering iron. Yeah, I need a new cable real bad. And my USB-C cable is in the other room and I don't feel like going to get it. Okay. Add solder to that. Get it locked into place. And then I'm basically just going to add solder to all of these pads. And I know that that's good enough. And I know somewhere down here is good enough. You don't actually need to solder all of... Ow! Solder bubble just popped on me. I know that you don't actually need to solder every one of these. You just need the ones that are actually used by the mod, which is only like 7 pins or maybe even less than that. But the boards that I normally use are aftermarket Pico boards, and they have the markings on both sides of the board. You really only need like one of these on the right side soldered down, the 3v3 line. I don't think there's any other ones that need it. So this is probably good enough. But I really don't want to have to go back and solder this later. Whew! There we go, I didn't have the fan all the way up. It was not doing its job. But I need to be quick because my fan looks like it's running out of juice because the light is flickering. That looks like it's good enough. Last thing we need to do is just bridge these two connections, which I like to do by just getting a blob of solder on my iron and then putting it down. Because if you like actually add solder the proper way, it won't bridge the connection because most likely there's flux, a rosin core in your solder, and the flux will the flux is meant to prevent shorting and bridging, but in this case right here we want it to be bridged. Why do they not just have it connected? I have no clue. I guess in case you want to actually put a diode there, but I don't really see the point. Anyways, the other thing I like to do with these is I like to go over these and pre-tin them with solder. And I just do it like that. And then those are set up. And again, I quickly need to do these, and I'm gonna do it like this because there's a bunch of flux over here. I'll get it more in frame though. And this is upside down. This one, I don't know. Ow. Another solder bubble. Solder bubble. Yeah, light's flickering. This is about to die. This one is different from Pico Boot, so I am going to go ahead and solder each and every last one of these. Can we do it before the fan dies? No, we cannot. Woo! Stinky. All right. But we still have one last bit of soldering to do for this one. And that is adding 2 lovely pads there. And I want to say the silver. Anybody else in here know if is it the gray line with the line there, or is it the other way around? Also nice that I can play Coliseum in both English and Japanese at the same time with one controller, so I know what the heck I'm doing. Yeah. Hello. Usagi? I'm gonna go with the gray line is the line, because that a lot of stuff makes sense with these markings. Just going to heat this up and do that. And we can plug in the fan for now, I guess. But all 3 of our mods are done. Zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to clean off this mat a little bit. Okay. I think we can move on to soldering these down. So, really the last thing we need to do for these is we solder them to this chip here. And that's it. I guess we can do it one at a time, zoomed in, so you guys can see it. So what I like to do is add flux to the bottom or to the top of the pins, and then we put this on top of it, and then just make one connection in one corner, hopefully. Might need to get a little extra solder on my iron here. Where's my tweezers? And then it looks like, yep, looks like they're all connected there. So that was that one. And we can move this one into frame. Do the same thing. This is honestly the hardest part, just because these pins, for whatever reason, don't always like to let solder stick to them, or at least more solder stick to them. But I found it's easiest to just put a nice glob of solder on your tip, and then with flux, hit it. Just be careful not to bridge the other pins to it. Then there's really only one thing soldering left to do, and that is these guys. So I will, no, I want them this way. Zoom out a little bit because these aren't too small. And we are, actually I want to do it like this. I like to take tweezers and grab the battery, at least push it down, heat up one side, heat up the other, push it out, or push it down and pull it out. It's a lot easier when you unscrew it first. And I don't know why I didn't do that, but I guess this is how we're doing it. Then I like to clean up the old solder because it makes it easier to put the new thing in with no solder attached to this. Okay. And I will unscrew these real quick so we can solder in the holders. And then we are almost done, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an hour and 13 minutes. Man, we are flying through this. All three of those are junk. I've got an actual non-yellow one here for the silver one. And then we got brand new ones for the red and blue ones. Okay, let's see. Where did I put these? Right here. Put the negative side on this side. These you do have to bend the pins just slightly to actually get it in here, but these holders are awesome. Gotta remove the extra solder that flipped out the front side. These holders are awesome because it means that you don't have to do soldering again in the future if you need to replace the battery in another 25 years. Did I do those all correct? Okay, cool. And then it's pretty darn easy to just solder them back in. Uh-oh. The iron turned off. We're losing heat. And fast. It's literally the last point and a half to solder. Would you do a DIY wireless controller mod via ESP32 solder with room soldering? Without soldering? I'm confused. Cheaper than Blue Retro. I've never heard of that. But I mean, if it's a fun project, then yeah, I don't know. I would need to know more about it. Okay, I think we're done. Whew. Pretty sure you can use either CS to SD or SD to SP2 with this mod. Yes. So with this mod, you can put SD card inside via the GameCube or into the SD card. Yeah, I'll show you at the end what, because we're gonna have to do both ways. So, well, I guess I can show you right now. For the two new shell mods, they'll use this in the SP2 port, but the one that we're gonna put in the Platinum does not have the SP2 port anymore because Nintendo never really used that. I don't think they ever actually did anything with it, so they just removed it in a later revision. And in the final revision, the 101, they didn't even have a spot for it. They left it in the shell because they didn't change the shell at all, other than the little back piece, this guy. But for that, we have to use the memory card adapter, and I don't know where I put it. It's somewhere around here. It'll make itself known when we need it. Oh, there it is. Need this guy. This does not work as an actual memory card, by the way. This is only for mods. But yeah. We can let these cool off for a second. We don't need to add them quite yet, and I don't like to put new batteries into a piping hot metallic holder. So we will do that later. For now, we will start with putting on the new thermal pads to all 3 of them. Lift this up. Just do that for a second. We'll get out the new ones. I'm asking these people have tried it on Dreamcast, but not on a GameCube, but it's possible. Put an ESP32 controller on the controller board GameCube, then all controllers can connect wirelessly. Flash app, flashing the Blue Retro software, and then the ESP2 dev board. Huh. Seems simple enough. I wouldn't know where to solder what points to. I wouldn't know the soldering diagram. But it could be a cool little project. The only thing for me is just like, I don't really care about having Bluetooth controllers on the GameCube, because my whole deal is I like reusing I like using controllers that were made for the console. Like, I like using GameCube controllers when I play GameCube games. Even though the N64 is a weird controller, I want to use the N64 controller with it. Because I think that's the most like integral part to like experiencing an older game, is using the controller, because the developers were making it with that controller in mind. And it's like, on a handheld, it's kind of obvious. It's like, well, yeah, the whole console. But like, with a GameCube, it's like, okay, you can, I don't know, if you emulate it, fine, have fun. I'm not anti-emulation, but if I'm gonna emulate it, I still want to use a GameCube controller, because at that point, it just feels weird using like a PlayStation controller, God forbid, a keyboard and mouse. I forgot to put this one away. So, I'm not, like, it would be cool to be like the first person to do that mod, but I don't see a point to it, and I would never use it. And I know that because I have a Blue Retro board in my personal GameCube, and I never use it. The only thing I would connect to it, I don't even know if it can connect to it, is the Switch 2 NSO GameCube controller. But I also have a Wavebird, so there's not really a point. There's less latency out of a Wavebird. I'd be more down to like try and port, like, or try and do that with a console that Blue Retro has never like done it to. But I feel like they've touched all the consoles out there. What I really love is to have a wireless zapper for my NES. That'd be cool. even though it'd probably be horrible for actually playing. Is the signal that bad for the Wavebird? I feel like it's not that bad. I have a beanbag, like a giant freaking beanbag in between me and my GameCube, and I don't have connection issues. I have more connection issues with my Analog 3D and its Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or whatever. I think it's Bluetooth. So either way, it's a funny joke. Okay, that is all of the thermal pads. Put all these heater sinks. Onto these consoles. And we can screw it all down. The 8-bit Bluetooth adapter is pretty nice. So I've heard. The benefit to the Blue Retro stuff is you can get it as a full board a lot of the time nowadays. So you can just get one mod. You'll have to do the work to replace it, but you can just get one mod for all 4 controller ports versus buying 4 separate adapters for all the controller ports. So. Yeah, the VMU kind of ruins wireless mods. Cool back then, but kind of a pain to deal with now. I mean, it's still cool now. Okay. Cool. Hands are hurting a wee bit. Alright, zip that up. Okay. I do need to get some double-sided tape for the these Pico Poop mods. But we put that over the top there. put this. Actually, nope, not yet. But we can put this one over the top here. And yeah, we'll put this off to the side. There's one more thing we gotta do for this guy here, because Pico Boot comes out this side, and so we need to fold this awkwardly in a way that it touches all the contacts of the disk drive and the disk drive port. So we can just stick that in there like that. Fold these things off to the side. I'm also realizing that I need to screw this in. So we're going to take this out. But I did the folding step without forgetting. Screw that in. That's not lined up. All right, now we can. Let's focus up. Come on. Focus on my hand and bring it down. There you go. What is the problem? Because I don't have it in center frame. Go. And take this. Try not to pinch anything. So right here, we're gonna slide the ribbon cable through, but also around the plastic post. Just like that. Still around the gray plastic. Show it off in a second here. Because you want to be careful of this post and this post. And then get it through that slot there. And then we can use these screws to hold it down. Hit myself in the head. And then there's another hole on the side here. It's not really necessary, but it takes away this screw hole here. So you can take that extra screw and try and fit it through this hole in one of these little grate holes, just to secure it down even more. But it doesn't work that well. Come on now. Might need to loosen these a bit. Nope, okay. It's optional, but it does keep it from like wiggling, and it really only matters for like installing it right now and making sure it's not in the way, like when you put the lid down. There we go. Nailed it. Guess you just gotta do those that side screw first. But even still, it's wiggly. Again, it's optional. Then I'm pretty much just gonna screw the rest of these in. Put that off to the side for now. Can't lift it by the disk drive. Do that. I'm gonna get this one up here as well. Again, just gonna drive a bunch of screws into these real quick. I feel like, oh, I am missing one. Ow. That hurt. Just like bent my nail trying to put these wires into place. Anyways, sometimes these things can be a little stubborn. There we go. Definitely want to make sure you get this clicked into place, because otherwise your power button can be misaligned and then you won't be able to press down the power button. Well, you'll be able to press it down and you can hold it down, but as soon as you let go, it turns back off because it won't latch. Okay, I need to get some double-sided tape. Yeah, I need to get some double-sided tape and then screw some more screws in and then screw some more screws in. Okay. Gotta stick it down right there. Come on. You guys don't need one of my hairs in there. These are my least favorite screws in the entire console because they're always so annoying. Tough to screw back in. At least on new shells, they're tough to screw in. And they're extra long. And after you've just screwed in about 20 Phillips 2-bit screws, or Phillips 1-bit, I think it's Phillips 2, you get to change your screw. You change the bit just for these four. Just to be annoying. And I'm just gonna swap to the electric bit, or electric screwdriver for this one. Hello, Ace Console Repairs. Look how much easier that is. Put those over there. Put this back in front of me. These ones, it's not too bad. I can do this by hand. But having to do the other ones by hand is annoying. So this one doesn't have a bit in it. It's already had these screws in there. So there's practically no resistance. In fact, you have to be careful not to break the screw post when screwing it back in with an electric driver. Okay, this one It's pretty much ready to go. I can put the back on it. And then I can put... Well, we need to get the batteries out first. Which, these batteries that I bought are really annoying. Of course it's going to be nice and easy this time. They're typically really annoying to try and get the batteries out of the container. You know why? Oh no, it is still going to be annoying. So I just remembered why it's so annoying. Because you're like, oh, you can get to the batteries now. Nope. Doesn't matter. They don't pop out. Why? Because there's plastic on both sides. And these perforated edges don't do diddly. And I don't have my scissors. I just have some flush cutters. I can tear it from there. But am I still into any of these batteries? Nope. Just gotta keep flush cutting away so I can get to an opening. Don't worry, I only have 100 of these. So. I only have to do this 90 more times before I need to buy new batteries. And never buy this brand again. I have a Pokemon Emerald game that had a battery change go wrong. A trace was ripped off. Is there anything that can be done? Was it... I mean, yeah, probably. It depends on which trace, most likely. It's one of those things where it's hard for me to really judge without seeing it. But it's probably still fixable. Is it something that a beginner can do easily? Probably not. I don't know if you're the same guy or not, but somebody messaged me this morning asking if I could fix their Pokemon Emerald, and I said no, because I don't take custom orders in. If you want to donate to the channel, I will do it, but that means you're not going to get it back, and I'm sure you want your Emerald back, but I don't do send-ins. So I can't fix it for you, but it is also one of those things where I can't really give you advice without seeing at least a picture of it. But it's probably fixable. Because there's probably another point somewhere nearby that you can connect a bodge wire to, and they'll be like, never happened. Or you can go the crazy way of completely replacing the board, because that is possible. That's upside down. Still under 2 hours in the stream. Cool. I don't think I'm gonna finish in 2 hours. Or before the 2 hour mark. I'm gonna finish within the next 2 hours, that's for sure. Cool, I didn't kill myself. What did I say earlier? Firmly grasp it. Another downside to using an electric screwdriver. Yeah, well, still didn't kill myself. Okay, so now put that in. Grab one of these clean filters because I cleaned them earlier. Pop that open. And then this is ready for its last final screws. Pop that in. Did that actually go in? Yep, that's in enough. Okay, it just looks like it's extra sticking out. And I didn't swap those. Duh. Okay. Pop that out for a second. Get both of these back here. Forgot about these. Pop that off. Pop that off. Pop that off. And pop that off. I like how they have this whole giant bag. Don't put this in there, but they put 3 tiny little things in there. I guess 3 sets of tiny little things in there. This giant freaking bag. And all we really need are the plastic pieces because we can reuse the old ones that are usually better. Depends. They're usually better. Slot them back in. A little bit of extra plastic hanging off there. There we go. Had to take care of that before we put it together. It's where the plastic gets injected, and if you don't cut it off smoothly, then it leaves a little, what I call dingleberry. And in this case, the memory card flaps. The flaps don't flap. At least they don't come back. They yakety yak and they don't talk back. That's the wrong side. There we go. Then put that off to the side and put this nearby. This is the fun part. We get to build this. So, actually I'm going to put this off to the side. Put that there. this is the power button. So I guess put these in first. It's been a while since I've done this because I actively try to avoid these ones because it's a pain in the butt and it slows down my progress significantly. But really not too difficult. The worst part is actually swapping the spring, this spring over here. This part's easy because you just pinch this spring when you're transferring. And then you don't want to tighten this too tight because then the arm won't move, and then you can't unlatch the lid. So we just want to be able to press the button and get enough action there. Cool. Then we can slot this bad boy. Gotta flip it around. Slot this bad boy in there. And then do the same thing here. That spring comes out. And it should go in like this, and then you have to bend this back and slot it really awkwardly back in there. And then also need to not do that. Oh wait, shoot, there's also another piece. This gear needs to go in first. And then the spring needs to go under that gear. And then I kind of just shove it in there until it gets flat. Hold it down with my finger while I screw in the screw. And then we have a working lid. I did not UV print my own custom jewels for these ones. I'm still debating what I want to do with the jewels. And I also need to get new designs out because I haven't really made a new design since. But yeah, would anybody actually be interested in like having my logo on their GameCube? I feel not. Like, no. It's like I don't even think I would really want that. And again, I'm trying to stay away from the whole copyright stuff. I'm almost out of all my copyrighted shells, which is nice. But yeah, because I would like to do that Smash Ball one because it looks really cool, and that's what I am rocking on my personal cube. There we go. thought about just doing like a generic soccer ball for, you know, like strikers theming and stuff. But yeah, speaking of jewels, this is what they give you with these shells that you have to fully assemble yourself. And this is super lame. So typically what I'll do is I will buff out the old ones, the original ones, to put on these. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go grab one that's already buffed. Still not perfect because some of them have some pretty deep scratches, but it's a lot better than the one that was on that black shell. Boom. That happens a lot too. Tolerances aren't always going to be perfect, but pop the lid. Flip it over. Don't worry, there's a new jewel for the red one. Because the other new shells that you don't have to fully assemble yourself, those come with new jewels, which is nice. You just have to stick them on later. These are going to be loud. Got to put a lot of force on these screws because they don't grip very well, and yeah. And then you hear that when it's tightened enough. Or if you don't put enough pressure, it'll make that noise. There we go. There we go. This one I don't have to be so aggressive with. There we go. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. That's how it's done. Do you still like using UV printer? Have you discovered any issues since your last review and video about it? Would you recommend it to someone who would use it just casually? Considering I don't really use it casually, and honestly, I don't use it as much as I thought, but it's mostly because I haven't sold as many shells as I thought. But I also need to make more designs so I can print more, so I can sell more, right? As somebody who does it casually, I just don't think it's something for like casual stuff. If you do a lot of projects casually, it's like a hobby of yours and it's something you would use a lot in your hobby, then maybe it's just an expensive machine for a hobby. But I guess it's cheaper than like industrial size ones. But the ink expiring so fast, which I guess it's common for UV ink to expire as fast as these do. That's like the biggest thing for me, because it's like, if you're not gonna go through all those bottles of ink within a year, then it's gonna hit the expiration date. From what I've heard, the expiration just means like the colors will start to fade after that date. So you can still use it for like a year afterwards, but the colors might not be as saturated. Yeah. So honestly, I don't even use it enough. I need to use it more. But I've only used it a handful of times for like other little projects here and there, but not like to what I used, not to the amount that I used it for the video. So it's like, that's why I'm like, if you're gonna use it even less than me, then I don't think it's worth it. That makes any sense. The blue does look sick. It matches my mat a little too well. But let's quickly test these, because I'm getting warm. I'm definitely ready to be done streaming. So yeah. What I'm going to do this time around, it's technically Friday's second channel video, so a little spoiler. But here I have my family's old laptop screen. Is this all the way? That's all the way. That I have turned into a portable monitor. It is a little jank on the back because I need to adapt it to fit my boards and stuff, because unfortunately this does not fit into this menu bar, so I need to make a new one of those, but I don't even think it fits in the space. You'll see it in the video on Friday on the second channel. And then this was a smaller board than for the original creator. And yeah, but I built this, I did this, so that way you guys can actually see the screen when I do videos or streams like this, where I'm using a console instead of a handheld. And I still need an HDMI. Okay. It's a little cut off. I'm gonna take away my face cam, or actually, boom. Okay. Should be able to turn it on. Looks like I'm having some power issues with this screen. Classic. I don't know if you can see that, but it just goes green and then it goes out. So I don't know if I can actually drive this or not. I did this before in the video. You'll see I used it with this. But it just doesn't want to do it. That's so weird. It totally worked just fine in the video. I used it with my computer screen and everything. Okay, well that sucks. I'll have to figure that out at another point. So, what to do about the screen? I think we'll just do the top down. Can it reach? Probably. Say bye-bye, top down. Okay, we're gonna turn that off. Turn it back on. And then, because I think it was scaled to this screen, because the monitor is a weird pixel. Oh, nope, I don't know why. Oh, I don't have the SD card in. There we go. I don't know why the aspect ratio is a little off, but or not the aspect ratio, anyways, let's check the DVD drive, make sure it still works after all that. The pixels were off, like the text looked funky, and that looks funky as well. But it'll still work. And yes, this is a Japanese disc, but this is region free, so any disc should work. And I don't have the sounds for the GameCube coming out, so you're not going to hear the sounds, but it does work, I promise. Let's see if I can get the sounds. bit loud, but there's actually an English mode to this. There it is, language. But does it just get rid of it once I go? Anyways, we're not gonna play all of them. We tested it, it works. Bye, Father. Okay, we can unplug that and plug in our next console. That was the red one. Actually, I can't do the platinum one yet. We'll do the blue one now. Same deal. Gotta put some in the bottom here. Or else nothing will happen. Uh-oh. Mod doesn't work. Controller's also not plugged in. Oh boy. Well, we can make sure that the disc still works, but the mod is not working. Oh, that is not the right time and day. We're in July. It's July 13th. I almost stopped at 2013 because I said the 13th, and I went way too far in the year. It doesn't really matter because who knows what region is going to get this one, but it's 244. How deep into 244 are we? In 15 seconds, it'll be 245. So I'm just gonna wait. And so it's perfectly in sync. Just kidding, I was off. Now it's gonna be in 15 seconds. I do this almost every time I change the time on these things or anything. Now it's perfectly in sync. If you get this on the Pacific Coast, West Coast, you don't have to mess with the time at all. So the disc still works. And I'll even show off that, oh, I see what you're saying, Father. But I'll show off that even when the console mod isn't working, you can still have it in English. Anyways, we're not gonna play because this isn't working, and I don't know why. So I'll have to dig into that later. I'll still list it for now. But yeah, the other the other part to this is I don't know if it'll actually work or not, but I do have to use this SD card in the silver one because I only had 2 SD cards available. So I need to buy more. But I think I need to put different files on here for Pico Loader versus Pico Boot. I don't know. We'll see if this works. HDMI thing wasn't plugged in all the way. Still not working, apparently. Do we need to clean this one out? I think so. I got new containers for alcohol and flux cleaner, flux remover, and I need to like label them because I didn't want to accidentally put flux cleaner in here. So I smelled that's why I smelled the Q-tip. But sometimes, because most people didn't actually use the digital port back in the day, sometimes they're just like full of dust. So you gotta get in there and wipe it down. And yeah, can't see it because the top down's gone. But sometimes you just gotta clean it and it'll work. Or I'm a liar. We'll see. And I don't know if the mod's actually working or not. Like I said, oh, maybe this SD card doesn't have stuff on it. I'm pretty sure it does. We'll double check. Double check. Maybe that's why this wasn't working. No, it's got files on there. I will make this. We'll wipe this completely. Yes. And that's weird. Swiss was showing up as a hidden folder, so that might have been something to do with this. Weird. Okay. Where's my safely eject button? There we go. Come on. There we go. Here we go. It still didn't work. Really? We're over? Maybe I didn't. Well, this one I soldered everything down, so I don't know what's going on with this. Maybe I did the wrong version of Pico Loader. Either way, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I'll just list the red one since it was the only one that was working, unless there's somebody in here who's like, I will buy the blue one right now, list it, and you can fix it. before you send it out. Which, I mean, either way, I'd fix it before it's sent out. But, oh, somebody bought the red HDMI modded N64. Heck yeah. Thank you, Erica, if you're in here. You still have 9 minutes to use code HDMI to save 10%, which is $30, by the way, unless you buy the one that doesn't have the fancy shell. Go to collections, GameCube. Red one. Red one is up for grabs. Hello, Alistair. Sorry, hello! Since you said it really loud. You said it in all caps, so it didn't make a sound. Anyways, the red one is up for grabs. If you really, really want the blue one, I can list it right now, or the silver one. But for right now, I will leave them unlisted, and I will fix them hopefully today or tomorrow and get them listed as soon as they're working. But for now, I'm done streaming. This was a long stream. 2.5 hours of streams, almost 3 o'clock. Yeah. I'm tapping out. But I appreciate everybody being here. And I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, there we go. That's how I add it back. Okay. Yeah, that's really it for me. Thank you all for coming out and staying for 2.5 hours of this stream. Sorry we couldn't get all 3 of them working. Don't know why they're not cooperating, but normally I don't do the software side of these mods. They're usually preloaded with Pico Boot. So I'll have to mess around with it. It's probably just I probably just need to reflash the Picos. That's all. All right. Yeah. Tomorrow on the second channel, we'll be fixing my Kindle because I broke it when I was trying to do the USB-C stuff, and then I am doing the portable monitor stuff on Friday on the second channel. I also gotta fix that. Ain't that swell? But that's about it for me. So I will see you guys in the next one. And if you join the mod squad, you should get the next video early on Friday. But I'm not sure. Need to write the script. That was kind of the plan for today and tomorrow. But now I'm gonna be messing with GameCubes. Anyways, this is a really long outro. I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. That wasn't the best snap.